What it is, folks, it's your homeboy First, back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on some. I appreciate y'all for being here with me for episode 227 of Put It On Some. Okay, got another good show for y'all today. A lot of real shit we gonna be discussing. Okay, I know we gonna have some fun later on with the listening session and everything like that. But right now, I got something coming for you. Before I give it to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. Put all your people on. You know what I'm talking about? Also, make sure you fuck with our sponsor, the King McNeil Collection. That's the King McNeil Collection for all your fraternity needs, your sorority needs. I'm telling you, if you are into the Divine Nine, you need to be shopping with the King McNeil Collection. Hey, and they also have other gear. As you see, I got yet another piece of gear from the King McNeil Collection on right here. You feel me? If your ass would wear a Tommy Hilfiger, if your ass would wear Ralph Lauren, you can wear something that's black on. Okay? Just tell them First Century. Okay? But without further ado, I told you I got something good for y'all today. Okay? We're kicking off my interview season. Okay? We're kicking off my interview season this year with a true king. Okay? Matter of fact, he is a king who hails from Canton, Mississippi. Okay? I have a man who graduated from the illustrious Jackson State University. You understand me? Now, you may know him as one of the faces of JSU sports coverage, okay? You may know him from that, you know what I'm talking about? But the folks who really know him know that I have a man who gives his money, he gives his time, he gives his effort to his beloved institution, to his family, to his motherfucking friends. I am proud to have my fellow Cantonian, Mr. Teronta Day. What's going on, brother?
Homeboy First, man. I'm telling you, man, I really enjoy watching you, man, and to be backstage listening to you doing that intro. I mean, it's electrifying, man. I couldn't stop smiling. I appreciate the great intro, man. I love it. I love it.
I appreciate it. Well, we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna go ahead and give the people exactly what they want. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
This is something I like to ask guests, because as I've said previously, I think too many young people, they're getting out of high school, they're making decisions about whether they're going into the workforce or whether they're going to college. And then if they choose college, a lot of times they'll put a lot of thought into where they're going to college. Okay. So I want to know, why did you choose the illustrious Jackson State University?
Great question. Actually, Jackson State, I mean, first of all, why not? I mean, if you're going to definitely choose an HBCU, why not choose Jackson State University? Mm-hmm. But the way I ended up choosing Jackson State University, of course, like you stated, I'm from Canton. I went to Canton High School. And while I was there, you know, I used to hear about Jackson State. There was big fans of Jackson State. You know, people used to argue about the band, you know, football between Alcorn, and, you know, you always had, you know, the bickering back and forth. Mm-hmm. And so I just used to hear about it because I grew up in the rural, right? So I didn't get a chance to attend, go to many of the games because my family, that wasn't the lane that my family was in. I'm only the third person to graduate from a 4-year university, you know, in my family, you know, and all the rest of them was cousins who may have been 5 to 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So the path wasn't as smooth as most high school students were now or is. So what happened, I did have an auntie that lived in Jackson off Terry Road, and they used to have some apartments. Mm-hmm. And so I was big into wrestling, like Mid-South wrestling with the Junkyard Dog, Kamala, you know, those type. You remember those days. So I used to beg my mother to take me down there to I wanted to go see wrestling because I knew that they probably would go. And when
Okay.
I was there at those apartments, I used to hear the band, like, man, what's that? And so I said, TT. I said, what is that? They tell me that it's a college back there. And they didn't know Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? And so it was right there in my backyard. And at this time, man, I'm talking, I'm young. I'm 4 or 5 years old. And so and a quick story one time about how big the game was around me. I remember we used to have this choir practice on Saturdays at my church. And my family and I, we all got, we got together. We went to choir practice. No one was there. The choir director, no other choir members, no one else was there. And it was Saturday. And man, Jack State were playing Southern. And we saying like, we're not having choir practice because everybody's going to go to the game. And I'm like, why would somebody not have choir practice to go to a football game? It's only a game. Not knowing the magnitude of that game and significance of what was going on. So that was kind of my story about as far as just knowing about Jackson State as a young man. But as I got up, I started hearing about it, understanding the boom, hearing about Walter Payton, started hearing about some of the greats that was there, like Jimmy Smith and the great quarterbacks and stuff that we had coming through. And I started listening to it on the radio. My auntie, started listening to it on the radio. We'll come to Jackson. I'll see all the lights and stuff. I was like, man, that must be a big deal, And so still, I was just kind of like, okay. Wasn't really, and I'm going to be honest about what I say because this is the only way I know how to be, because I feel that, I tell my story could help someone else that may have been in the situation. Never really vetted or pushed to go to college. That conversation is it's kind of like thrown out there, like, hey, you need to go to college to do this, and in order to get a good job, to better yourself, you got to go to college. But it wasn't a situation where respectfully, like it was kind of ingrained. I grew up in a single parent home, and my mother, did factory work. So that just something that wasn't, that was there. What was leading me and guiding me first was the game of football. So I know the counselor was talking to me and the coach was talking to me. So what I learned about college athletics, HBCU, Jackson State, Alcorn, Valley, those schools were through, through talking to coaches and counselors and friends. And, I did have a cousin to attend Valley. I went up there when I was a kid, when she was there. And that was one of the 3 that I was telling you that graduated. Of course, she didn't finish at Valley. She ended up finishing at Tougaloo.
Okay.
But, so that was, and so as I continued to play the game, started getting recruits and stuff, but it led me to Holmes Community College.
Okay.
And from there, I played a year. I played with some great players. And I mentioned before, and I just have to say this because their name deserved to be mentioned. I'm very honored that I had a chance to play with the great offensive lineman from Seattle Seahawks, Walter Jones, and the cornerback that played for the Baltimore Ravens, Dwayne Starks. I had the chance to play on the team with some of those guys. Matter of fact, I was even on the team with one of our former, he just transferred out, was Isaiah Spencer, his father. He and I played offensive line together. But as that year completed, and we were ranked. We were good first. We were nationally ranked, and then the wheels fell off. I don't know what happened. We ended up losing a few games, but going into my second year, I got injured. Just never really had that support first. just from, you know, the way things were, just never really had a strong backing. My mom did a great job in raising me, but far as like a lot of outside stuff, the college, the football, the supporting on those type of things, man. I had to get it out the mud. I had to grind. It was challenging. It was hard, but I never quit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then sometimes when you trying and you striving to get where a place where people are talking to you about good moves, good decisions, um, you have a tendency of just really pushing, and then when those things start to not go as people say, then you lose confidence. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but what happened? I ended up getting injured,
Mm-hmm.
playing ball at home, going to my second year, and just kind of lost the lust for it. But then
What
I
type
was,
of injury was it?
I ended up tearing up my knee,
Okay.
and I was like, okay. So I became a commuter student. Did that for a little while. I was studying business administration. Then I said, okay, you know what? I want to play again. So end up having to go to the doctor because first I wasn't taken care of the way I needed to on the field. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that's neither here nor there. Nevertheless, I ended up going to the doctor, um, looking to get my knee repair. I said, okay, well, you know what? I want to try to walk on at Jackson State, and had the knee surgery, got it repaired. Lo and behold, first timeline right, uh, about 6 months to a year later, man, I ended up being in a bad car wreck, and that was it. So um, again, I'm in disarray, really not knowing which way to go, guidance, but with the morals and values that was instilled in me with God's will, I continued to just work because I knew how to grind, man. I grew up, in the fields, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you know, uh, we grew our food. We farmed on the land. So I just continued to work, ended up transferring um to homes and continued to take class. And then I was like, okay, well, in the major I was in, I really started looking at it, and then I wanted to get into another program. So I transferred to Hines, finished at Hines
Mm-hmm.
there, man. I transferred to Jackson State, and that's where I end up finishing my 4 year degree. I am so honored and glad that you know I made that decision. I attended the I love, and it's a family. So that's how I got to Jackson State. It was a long road. And of course, it's more meat into the story. But I got there. I never quit, and regardless of the time frame that it took or what I had to do, I never gave up.
Mm-hmm.
And so hope I can be an inspiration to somebody else, because there's a lot of people out there first that a lot of young people who feel like they don't have any guidance and don't know where to go or what to do. So they settle for, whatever job, they get. I mean, especially when you're dealing with a lot of kids and, in the rural, who that's not exposed to a whole lot. It tend to be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of inner city kids get a chance to travel and know about this and know about that, and have cousins and uncles and friends and different that able to take them places. Like you hear the players. Some people talking about, hey man, I always attended games. We had season passes. That was it didn't happen for me like that.
Yeah.
So, but I never stopped. I never stopped.
Your story clearly shows then why you're so involved with the university and so passionate about everything you do. You feel me? Which leads me to my next question then, okay? As someone who's so involved in JSU sports coverage, sports, not just football coverage. Okay, for all of y'all know, y'all real ones that down with Jack State know, you know what I'm talking about. But anybody else that may be watching, this brother here is devoted to not only football, he covers a whole lot of stuff. You feel me? So as somebody who's that involved, especially with this NIL collective, okay, how did it feel to win the Black National Championship in football?
It felt very fitting. It felt very deserving. It felt very needing. It felt very needed. First, that national championship meant so much to not only um the school, man, but the city of Jackson. Um, because we all know how much coverage and the things that goes on, within the city, you know, from the council to the mayor to whatever people have to, say and vet about city. We get, you know, so to win the national championship and have that be the HBCU national championship and have that be the first one, it was very it was electrifying, man. It was wonderful to be a part of.
And
And
what
to,
he's talking about the first celebration bowl, yeah. I know somebody gonna come in and comment. Oh, we had a Black National Championship before that. He's talking about the first celebration bowl, yeah. Don't get started.
yeah, the HBCU
Yeah.
yes, yes. And like I said, there was so many reasons. I mean, even with the whole thing with the coaching, with Coach Taylor, Coach O, that whole story and situation, how they had to take over, what they had to do to get there, to build the team. Um, so and the fans having, I mean, we have some passionate fans. We have some loyal fans, dedicated, and man, they ride or die, for the school, and they very supportive of their team, and they love and passionate about their team. We had gone there a time or two before, not to get over the threshold. And to finally get over the threshold was very invigorating, to us as a team. Uh, and as fans, as former students and current students, uh, it was awesome. I mean, my hat goes off to Coach Taylor for putting together a staff, and his right hand man, Coach O, who was there for him, supporting them to put together a staff the way they have. And then not only that, with losing all the players at that particular time, I think at the end of the day, it was probably less than 50 players left on the roster. And, for Coach Taylor come in and how to deal with that debacle of a situation and build a team to go 74 his first year, and then come back, to win it all. I mean, who could say more? I mean, who could say? I mean, why even say less? In the fans were very excited, man. So so it was very invigorating, very needed, very deserved, and we was extremely happy. And to be able to support and see the tears of joy, from the coaches, the players, the staff, and the fans, man. I mean, it permeated my heart in me, and I just felt, I'm the type of person, man. I get a joy out of seeing other people happy. First, I get a joy out of seeing um other people do well. Especially good people in people who had to grind and work for it and have to overcome obstacles. Because, bro, even a lot of time, first, this, when you have people that smile in your face, everybody ain't for you. you know so to know that you have to persevere through so many different things, it was a great feeling, and I couldn't be more proud of that coaching staff, that team, the university, and extremely happy for the city.
In this NIL era, do you find yourself like feeling like a team owner, kind of, sort of? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a season ticket owner. You know, I'm a member of the KC-1400 collective, so I feel
Right.
like I got something in the pot. You feel me? So when we win, I'll be feeling like, yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
unlike my pro teams, you know what I'm saying? Like you can buy the gear, you can do all this, but hey, you ain't paying the players, and you sure enough ain't getting no money off of it. You know what I'm talking about? You can't make no decisions. You know, because if I can make the decision, my Green Bay Packers will have a few more championships. You know what I'm talking about? My LA Lakers wouldn't have got bounced in the first round, but don't run my blood pressure up. I don't even want to think about that. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Yours and mine both.
Yeah. Oh my God, brother. We had to talk about that another time. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
I feel like that, and I know you are one of those cats who they call for some water. You part of that group. Y'all go up there and take water to the whole like you on standby for whatever they need. So like, do you kind of feel like a slick Jerry Jones or something? Like like a team owner? Like, yeah, I did. Let me hold that trophy because I helped do this.
You know what? First, to be honest with you, the crazy part of me, and sometimes I don't feel like I do enough.
Ooh.
You know,
Mm.
because there's so much to do.
Mm-hmm.
We just scratching scratching the surface of what we are doing.
Mm.
When you go up there and you look in those athletes' faces, and man, you see where they have other opportunity to go there. That's why I always say when a player graduates or they decide to leave, my first thing I would say, hey, we appreciate you bringing your talent to Jackson State University. We appreciate you laying on the line if you choose to go somewhere where you choose to do, man. But yeah, to answer your question, man, we're just getting started. I don't feel like, personally, I mean, I've even, because we serve as much more than that. Sometimes we have a conversation because we are in the business of helping young men become men. I want to call them boys. Helping them understand that it's more to life than the game of football, that this is just a path that they're on to get to where, they need to be to become, career men, on business owner, or whatever they, choose to do in their life, to become successful in whatever way they choose to become successful, and to gain financial wealth for however, we're getting, we're being educated, so they can become a leader and also lay down a foundation for the next young man that's coming down that same path, and maybe try to guide them in a direction, or teach them the mistake that they have made so they can be better. Look, young man, I didn't practice the way I needed to. And I speak for myself. I didn't really know the game the way I needed to, far as playing as a player. I didn't realize that football, playing sports, is a year-round thing. I didn't realize that you had to run, lift weights, do push-ups, do up, down, do burpees, whatever you needed to do to prepare for the football season. Didn't know. So that's why I feel when I say that we hadn't done I hadn't done enough, and I know with KC-1400 Media Group, we are extremely looking to do more. Man, we have a strong, passionate team, and man, whatever we love these student athletes. I mean, and we're not just talking about football, man. We're talking about basketball, ladies and men basketball, softball, track, you know, baseball. I mean, and we're willing to branch out as much as we can with the student athletes and the NIL collective, you know, to support as many students as we can. But so yeah, just on that part right there, there's so much more to do. So we're looking to support the coaching staff and the student athlete as much as we can as far as football to do a repeat, because that's what the team is being built for, and all things dominate. And so we're trying to dominate this game as well. And there's nothing that within us a realm of doing right that someone can call me and ask me to do that I'm not willing to do, as long as it's not in a situation where it's going to hinder anything dealing with my family.
That's real. That's real. Well, y'all make sure y'all join me, okay, and becoming a member of the KC-1400 Collective, okay? Go ahead and run that up. I think the next goal is 500, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
We're approaching, okay? So, hey, man, say man, okay? I know more than 500 people gonna watch this, okay? So somebody in that number ain't signed up yet, okay? Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and take care of that. I'll leave a link to the collective in the description, so you make sure y'all go ahead and take care of that.
And you know what? First, I wanted to say to you, I wasn't sure how far you wanted to go into the collective talk right then. But say to you, man, we appreciate you. I watched when you signed up.
Oh yeah.
And the process that you know that you did, and shared that video because of your passion, your love. I mean, even when you was talking about, you know, being the interested guy to really be able to support. And I'm gonna tell you, like I say like this too. I don't believe in asking anybody to do anything that I don't do, that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't ask you for your money if I don't put mine in too.
That's right.
And with that being said, man, the collective, speaking on the collective, the KC-1400 NIL collective, man, this I was there from the beginning, even, you know, before the NIL really hit like that. We were trying to do things in the midst of chaos to try to savage some things that was going on, because we didn't just really want to get all the way to rock bottom, which, you know, it was extremely hard. So I was a part of a group because, you know, when the show was going on, a lot of times we would do initiatives about different things that different sports needed, and the public would come forth and do that. And Ken would often drop a link, and we would do things like that to support, you know, whether it was women basketball or men baseball, whatever, you know, what was needed. We supported through the channel.
Yeah.
And then NFL, I mean, then NIL became a thing, and that's just a passion for Ken. He took that thing, he researched it, he looked into it. I mean, that's his baby, and you know, he fine tuned it, and it's still fine tuning it, you know, because things are always changing, and and got it to where it is now. And then we have a person, you know, KT Dove. I mean, he's very instrumental in the background of things that goes on with the media. Very, very bright gentleman, very well connected. and we'll get HBCU Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Kevin Dent. He'll chime in, man. We have a lot of great people that support this thing in the background as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. And we have an event coming up. We're studying, trying to do what we can, brother, first to make our university as prosperous and as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's real, and it got to be us. It got to be us. So why not you? Make sure you sign up today. Sign up today.
And I think as of now we have up to what 15 to 17 our 15 to 17 student athletes just in football.
Mm-hmm.
So the funds that I collected, it is provided because, and I would say this, I was one of the ones, if you out there, you listening, if you one of the ones that say, you know what, you've been in line first behind somebody and they ain't have enough money,
mm-hmm.
or for whatever reason, you just was like, how much they bill? I got it. You know that feeling that you feel when you do stuff like that. That's how we feel about the collective.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a person, you might not have, $1,000 to give, 500. You might not have 100. You might have 50, 25, 10. It doesn't matter. Whatever suits your heart, whatever touches your heart, to contribute. Just like you said, you feel that you are a part of it once you do something like that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not only just on the sideline cheering, saying "Thee I love," but you know what I'm saying, you had to add to the pot.
Yeah, or saying some other stuff.
Right.
You're in them stands, or you're in our comment sections, you in they chat and they doing lives, and you're going, you're talking about what TC should have done this and this
right.
coordinator, but you ain't got nothing in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go ahead and contribute, baby. And then that player that you think we needed, you know what I'm talking about? Well, if you guys gave some money, maybe, just maybe, you know what I'm saying, we can get that player, retain that player. We lost, I'm talking about Jack State basketball, we lost our leading scorer from not just past season, but from a couple years ago.
Right.
Okay? Because of NIL. Okay?
Correct.
Went to Florida Atlantic.
Correct.
Quickly, NIL. Okay? Then we come back and we make the SWAC championship, and some folks mad because of our lack of depth. Well, God damn it, if we had enough money, we could have kept that leading scorer to go with everything else that we had. We win. You know what I'm saying? So put some in the pot or shut the hell up. All right. Let's move on to the next. All right. Okay. I told everybody that you are a fellow Cantonian.
Okay? That I am.
A king from Canton. So, since we're talking about the Black National Championship, how did it feel to have the championship-winning quarterback be a fellow king from Canton, Mr. JaCobian Morgan?
And not only, did he win, he won the MVP. Offensive MVP.
So did.
Man, you know what? Man, I was so happy for that young man. And let me make sure I say this. Man, we love all our players. We support all our players. And I'm pretty sure, in any situation, you always, have you had that little extra little oomph, you know what I'm saying, for your own. You know what I'm saying? I know Ken and I talk on the show a lot, man. He's a Master Central graduate, and he speak on, the players that we have on team for Master Central. So to answer your question, man, it felt great because, and one of the reasons it felt great, because I remember another segment that you did, you spoke on some of the things that occurs in our city, and everything is not positive. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times you always have some good crops in your field.
Mm-hmm.
But sometime on that stock and in that field, you have some bad crop that you have to weed out to make sure that the good crop go ahead on and grow the way it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with that being said, what JaCobian did, you know, and in the city of Canton, it lets someone else know that, you know, where you are, you know, that you can rise to the top, that you can be what you want to be, you can make it as well. It doesn't matter what no one has to say, or no matter what is going on, you just have to work hard and persevere like that young man did. And it was a really true, it was truly an honor, you know, in knowing his family, um, knowing and having to talk to him, and great people, and you know, some of the adversity that he had to go through, you know, it was a great feeling. I remember when his name first come across as being a transfer into Jackson State from the University of Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh wow. I was like, who is this young man? You know, hey, yeah, you know, who is his people? you know, you know, who is his, you know how we do that. So what I did, you know, I got on, I called the head coach at Canton High, Coach Calvin Bolden. I called him up and I say, hey man, dude, we getting this young man named JaCobian Moore who played under your regime. You know, what are we getting? And man, he went to telling me the type of players and stuff, that the type of player that he is. And so I started watching highlights on, because if you remember, JaCobian was playing during the COVID around that, you know, around that COVID time,
Mm-hmm.
during those COVID seasons. And so I still, because I still get up to games, and the reason I was able to reach out to Coach Bolden, man, because I still go back and I give to the football program. I still support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, win, lose, or draw. I mean, that's my city, that's my love. I mean, that's, you know, that's what it is. So I still give back wherever I can, man. I don't have deep pockets, man. I don't, you know, but if I got $1, you need a quarter, and you know, and my light's not about to get turned off, then that quarter is yours, or that 50 cent if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just the way I am. So I still give back. So after talking to Coach Bolden, and JaCobian came into the fold, and had a chance to meet and found out that I knew his family members and everything, and found out he's a really and first he come off kind of quiet, but you know, he's you get to know him, a really, really good young man, very mannerable and respectable. And I know his first year he ended up getting hurt, so he wasn't able to play as much. I think he came on in the late in the latter part of 2023 from an injury that he sustained.
Mm-hmm.
And so to you know, to see him come, you know, work through that, and then come into the 2024 season, working hard. And man, I'm telling you, I know he has a lot of raw talent. And Coach Taylor is, I'm talking about, you talking about iron sharpen iron, and being able to sharpen the tool. Coach Taylor is putting his touch on that, man, along with, you know, Coach Rip, you know, even Coach Gallen, you know, though offensive coaches, and you know, the whole coach staff, you know, work together. But they've been working with that young man, and you can see, you can see him grow. He had to overcome some adversity, but you know what? You know what we learned about adversity, man. When you're not gonna go through this life unscathed first.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some problems. No matter when you feel and you know that you're doing everything right, you're still gonna have some adversities.
Mm-hmm.
So your character is built on how you deal and come out of those adversities. And like I was even talking about my, you know, football career, my correct, and the lack of, you know, it makes you the person that you become. And you have to have those things in order to grow. You know, you you can't um you can't get stronger without some pain, without some adversity, and you're gonna face. And so those are some of the things that, you know, coming in, because football is competition. And so in that case, and what I'm speaking on with that is, you know, JaCobian had to, you know, he had to fight, he had to prove himself, he had to prove his worth, and still do. Still do. But through that adversity, after he had to deal with what he dealt with through the beginning of the season, and I always say, even on our show, we're not in that room. We don't know what's going on that field. We don't know what the coaches see. That is their job. That is what they are paid to do. I mean, we analyze and we can say what we think always, even in any sports. I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, that adversity he went through, once he got through it and he got the reins of it, he went on to the house. We didn't lose another game. You know what I'm saying? He got injured, wasn't able to finish the SWAC championship game. Zai came in, did a magnificent job. Got us through that. Mm-hmm. Got us to Atlanta. And JaCobian stepped back in from that slight injury that he had, a mishap, whatever it was, and took us on to, what we would call the HBCU promised land. And that's the national championship. And not only did he win it, did we win it as a team or he won it for his team, man. He became the offensive MVP of that particular game, man. So with all that being said, I was very happy for the young man. I was elated for the team and Tiger Nation, and knowing that, we did what we can to be supportive of them. I mean, that just makes it, that just the cherry on top, So again, man, having him representing Kansas, Mississippi, I hope that can be a bright light for someone else who's going through something, who's facing adversity, who feel that I can't make it from here, or I got the obstacles to overcome, or this is being said that you can do it also. So it meant a lot.
Well, shout out to JaCobian Morgan. You, young king, are part of a long line of great people from Canton, Mississippi, as TD said, and I'm glad you said that too. Yeah, our city does get this bad rap and everything like that, and little nickname of the city is Cracktown to many people. You know what I'm saying? But we are evidence that greatness comes from Canton, Mississippi. You feel me? So JaCobian Morgan, starting quarterback for a Black national champion. My young boy Quindary Weatherspoon, an NBA champion. You know what I'm talking about? We got should be Pro Football Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay.
Yes,
LC Greenwood.
LC Greenwood.
Quit playing with us. Okay. That should be a Pro Football. Okay. We got a potential saint in Sister Thea Bowman, that she's up for sainthood in the Catholic Church. We got civil rights icons, and we got Teronta Day in first. So it's Canton, Mississippi, baby, for the win.
That's right. For the hey, and let me add, let me not leave him out. Let's give me a shout out to Mr. Tymon Henderson, the wide receiver.
Oh yeah. My bad, young blood. Oh yeah. Hey, we currently got how do you frame it? A beast FBS national champion, okay, as well for LSU offensive line. Damian, what Damian last name? He played offensive line when they had Burrow.
Okay.
Damian Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Banky. That's why I was going Banky. I call him Banky.
You call him Banky?
Yeah, we call him Banky. So, hey, that's a lot of good things come from Canton. You feel me? So, JaCobian Morgan, way to be a shining light for our youth, young king.
So yeah, man. And again, I forgive me about wide receiving Mr. Henderson. He's on that team as well. Matter of fact, he played high school ball with
Sure did.
Yes.
So that's why JaCobian, you could tell he was feeling some type of way when that man got hurt. And I was telling my wife, I said, they're teammates. Like, not only for JSU, like, these young men go back. You know what I'm talking about? So that hit different. So shout out to that young king as well. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
As an somebody who's so involved with the university, as I've said previously, I'm quite sure that you are privy to the impending controversy with our former president. You know what I'm talking about? But before the masses knew about it, you understand? So, what was your initial reaction? Not when it came out, but you know, when a little birdie sang to you, you know, and you got the word long before the masses did. What was your initial reaction to the impending controversy that eventually came out?
Not again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not again. Not now.
Not now.
Not now. I
Not
mean,
now. Mm.
we're trying to tread in the right direction. You know, you don't want it to be a situation where you make this big leap and then things like this pulls you back, you know, 10 steps. You know, we're still grinding. We're still gonna grind. You know, we're still gonna, to be as prestigious as we can as a university, despite. But it's better when everybody's on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was extremely disappointed for many reasons. First, it seems as if some positive things were has started to occur, upon the leadership. I mean, we've been fighting for years for a water system. You know, nothing, nothing doing. He was able to, on his regime, and was able to, get water system, put on campus. Those, that project began, to have, water system go down. You still have water, fundraising, um, had began to ramp up, um, provide, at one point in time, housing was an issue. Um, so we ended up getting a renovating, getting a hotel to renovate. So it seemed like positive things was happening. I mean, the ADs, the coaches, everybody was on the same page. Recruiting was going good. It was like, okay, yeah, now we're trending in the right direction. And as we talk, we won the HBCU national, championship, and we're like, okay, it's good. But so when news like this hit and break, man, it's hurtful. Um, and I feel that I know that we deserve better, and it was very unexpected,
Mm-hmm.
despite of. So we're still pushing forward. We hope that the process this time, goes right. And here's the thing: it's I look at some things like this first. We are all are human, and we have one person making a decision for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
In whatever direction that leader decides to go, you are under that umbrella, whether you agree with the choice or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, he was out under that umbrella, and so we all having to bear the pain of another person's decision, or whatever, it is. And so it was very saddening. But just like many other things that we talk about adversity, we'll persevere. Um, we'll get over it because we are strong. We're strong. Tiger Nation is strong, and we're gonna fight. whatever their fight look like, we're gonna put it up. So I'm looking forward to brighter days. You know, I'm looking forward to brighter days. So yeah, to answer your question, man, I was very disappointed. Um, you know, I guess the president we were looking to go in one direction, but through IHL we chose to go another. So we got behind that, and then we started to see some ground being plowed. If you can follow me, some vegetables being planted, being watered, being getting sunshine, starting to grow, and then you had the storm come through. But the ground is still there. The plowing is still available. So we will continue to fight, and we will continue to love our university and support our university to the best of our ability.
That's real. To your point about us fighting, and I think we kind of spoke off camera about not really having the answer to this question, but neither of us to that point. But I still wanted to pose this question to kind of get a dialogue. I want our people to see us dialogue about it, because somebody out there in Tiger Nation might have the answer. They might have the answer, and they just need us to motivate them, to try to implement that answer. And that the question is, what can we do, in your opinion, to wrest that power, or wrestle that power, I should say, of appointing our damn president away from IHL? I did a segment separately for those of y'all who may have missed that, and thank God for all of y'all who did watch that. IHL here in the state of Mississippi, that's who appoints the presidents. So if y'all looking at all the haters that may be watching this, you look at Jack State and say, damn, 3 straight? Yeah, because IHL fucked up 3 straight times. So, and IHL is appointed by the governor of Mississippi. Okay. Now, our governor may not be as famous as Ron DeSantis in Florida or Abbott in Texas, but let me tell y'all, he's just as sinister. Okay. And the one before that was just as sinister. And the one before that might have been the godfather of sinister motherfuckers. I'm talking about Haley Barbour. Okay. So, is there anything, and we're just brainstorming, we just 2 brothers talking. It's like in the barbershop, like on a Friday, and in Canada, they eating fish on a Friday, listen to some blues, drinking, what I'm talking about. And they might talk a little sports, they might talk women, but they might talk a little politics too.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw something at you, TD, to kick it off.
Go for it.
What I'm thinking is, okay, since IHL appoints the presidents for all 8 public institutions, from what I gather, there has to be some people at the other institutions here in Mississippi, white ones as well, who aren't happy about that process. Like, I use my voice to contribute to the university. I'm a member of the collective. Season ticket holder in basketball and football and stuff like that. But I think about a guy like you, who's so much of your damn time has gone to this cause of, like I said, you are one of the faces of the university, because sports is the face of any university. You know what I'm talking about? And you one of the faces of that. I think about my brother Thaddeus Reed.
Shout out Thad.
Oh my God, this brother got Jack State tattooed on him. Okay, I think about y'all, I'm like, damn, them boys ain't got no say who the president is. That's nuts to me. And it's some of y'all at Alcorn, it's some of y'all at Valley, it's some of y'all at Ole Miss and Mississippi State and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, they can't like this process either. They can't like really. So I'm thinking maybe we can build some kind of coalition If not with the PWIs, definitely with the like-minded people from Valley and Alcorn. And we got to push those state legislators to change the law. All it is legislation. It's some legislation that led to this process, and it can be some legislation to change this damn process. But it would have to be a collective body, though. They ain't gonna give a damn about just us. And they might not give a damn about just the black folks. But,
Right.
but if they try to come like that, then we had to use these, because like I said, these mics work.
Yes, sir.
It is we know Super Talk Mississippi got some mics, but we got mics too, motherfucker. Okay. So if they try to come on some racial stuff, okay, we turn these mics on, bam, 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 and we let them know, let the masses know what's happening. So that's what I'm thinking, that we put pressure on our elected leaders down in that legislature, excuse me, to at least introduce a bill. Can we introduce a bill at least to change this process? Because not having control over the motherfucker that represents your university, or not even, can we get one vote on there? Can like 2/3 of the vote go to y'all and we get a third? Like something, that's what I'm thinking, TD.
Well, brother, you said a lot. A lot is going on in my head. You're talking about the mics, and you're talking about combining, and you're talking about bringing everything to the public. I'm not gonna go here, but I will say this part. But when you look at the country as a whole and the things that is going on right now, man, those mics these mics they must be extremely loud. I mean, they must be sonic boom like. You know what I'm saying?
We get that's what we do here. Sonic boom of the sound, baby.
Right. So to answer that, and what I initially said when we was talking about it, because I try not to stress over things I can't control first. Yet I know you just can't sit back and kick your feet up and just, watch and see what color the wall is going to become next. But one of the things that came to my mind, I was like, if you want to change the furniture in a particular house, you need to own it. You know what I'm saying? We don't own it. I mean, it's owned by the state. It's funded by it's funded by the state, which is, a lot of us don't support, we don't give. It's about in so many instances of life, not just this instance. We have a tendency first to become selfish. We have a tendency to become long I got mine. You become a tendency where that doesn't really concern me. It is what it is. I struggle with things that I can't control and trying to fight against things I can't control. And I'm definitely with needing having a say at a seat at the table of selected president. But the frustrating part coming in, even the last two presidents or the last two or three, where we had valuable candidates who the people wanted, the Tiger Nation wanted, the alumni wanted, and you still choose to go another direction. And sometime at the very last minute, going against the masses. So it deflates you some, and it makes you wonder, okay, what is it that we're going to do? Our voices are loud, and you still drown us out by choosing who you want. And again, I don't get into, I know there's a lot of talk out there about HBCUs under attack, being taken over, so on and so forth. I try not to get into conspiracy theories first, but I am a guy that sit back and watch how things go, watch the whole spectrum of activities. And I never just really said that before. But then when I get to looking at, all right, we've had, since 2010, given interim and stuff, we had like 7 presidents taking them out 4. And it hasn't been right. And so I never dove into it or never took a look into it first until I got involved with KC-1400 Media Group. And I started being around the alumni, and I started to hear and see how things, happen in the way that they were. Definitely hearing a lot of stories about Dr. Peoples and the fight, about getting different schools and stuff. Just trying to uplift the program. And then I started looking at, hearing about the history, reading about the history, seeing, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, what's really going on? When you hear how the process of the selection go, and then you think you got this candidate that everybody wants, and then in the blink of an eye, it's snatched from you, and here you go, deal with this. Here you go, this your president. This how it's gonna work. Yeah, upon scandals, and it's very disheartening. And yeah, we definitely need to come together. And what what really, what really punched me in the face about situations like this? First, we always look at, you have situations, when you're in a fight or something, you're in a group fight, you were like, okay, it's three to 5 people in the fight. Like, okay, well, we don't worry about that person. We ain't worry about that person. We're concerned about that person. We need to go. Let's get the biggest one first. You look at the way things are with Valley. And then you look at Alcorn. Then you start to look at stuff at Tennessee State, and then you look at the thing with Jackson State, the way they are going, and you see you look at our 3 HBCUs here in Mississippi. You look at those, and then you start thinking about, okay, well, look, there's some things going on in Tennessee State. Then you start hearing about improvement of facilities and stuff need to be done at these other different campuses, and then you're like, okay, this is something as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee State being old money, not getting, and then we turn around and this FAMU situation happens. Bruh, that it was, I'm down really like knowing how to, Florida been trying to take the history out and trying to say that, slavery and all this, trying to take all the, the stuff out the school system, education part out the school system, and then who their government is, and then come find out this person's affiliated.
Yeah. It seems like a concerted effort to railroad or at least hinder progress in Black institutions and Black owned anything. Not, I know these universities are run by the state, but I'm talking about from a business person standpoint. Yeah, anything that's Black run, let's put it like that. If it's Black run or mostly services Black people, they coming for it. And you made a hell of a point about not stressing over things you can't control. That's something that probably in the last 5 years or so I've been trying to do much better with. But the serenity prayer is what has helped me with that. You feel me? The serenity prayer. I recommend the serenity prayer. Any of y'all real ones out there, okay? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot control.
Yes,
sir. Don't forget this part right here.
What's that part?
Grant me the courage to change the things that I can.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay? That's different. And the wisdom to know the difference. So that's why I wanted us to have this dialogue right here, because it might be a real one out there, it might be somebody who can consider themselves our OG, somebody that been through some of these fights, you know what I'm talking about? And they might be able to give us some game and let us know, hey, don't worry about that part right there. Or they might say, you know what, y'all young bloods right here. I was just waiting on some of y'all younger bloods to want to fight. I can tell y'all exactly what to do. So y'all can give us the wisdom to know the difference. You know what I'm talking about? Because as it looks right now, something got to shake. Okay.
And first, I'm definitely with having a voice. I'm definitely with stating your opinion about something. But last thing I was kind of looking at like this, even when you look at, we talking about doing that. You know, you talking about coming together, everybody, you know, congregating on campus, or, you know, right left, whatever the case may be, whatever action needs to be taken. At the end of the day, you don't control it. And what I mean, in the example I was given, you look at even like the presidential race. I mean, you know, you have just all over, you know, from last year all the way back, you know, popular votes. I mean, you lose the popular votes, but you still win. Mm-hmm. You know, same thing here. I mean, you have the majority of the alumni, and you have just outside supporters, you know, for the schools and for the universities. You know, just, you know, HBCUs as a whole, you know, even with FAMU, they fought to the end for not having that person, and they still was like, okay, I don't, you know, basically, I don't care what y'all feel about you guys program, y'all program, this is what it's gonna be, you know. And then it takes you to, and when you put your all into stuff like that first, and you still get pushed aside and pushed down on, if you're not a praying person, or you're not doing the serenity prayer or whatever, that brings up another beast, another anger within you that you know not be so good. You know what I'm saying? Because now you being played with in your face, and your cares and concern doesn't matter. And who don't want to be respected, appreciated, or acknowledged?
Well, that makes me think about that brother that you got behind you on your wall.
Yes, sir.
Reverend Dr. Martin Luther the King. You feel me? and makes me think about how he pushed, along with so many civil rights foot soldiers, to get that Civil Rights Act of 1964 passed. They got that passed, signed into law by Lyndon Baines Johnson. Dr. King and his folk went back to Johnson like, all right, now we still don't have the right to vote down here in the South. They still doing this, they still doing these poll tax. They still doing these literacy tests. So we gonna need you to do something about that. Lyndon Baines Johnson was pissed off. He feeling like, I just gave y'all this. Like, bro, like, y'all ain't got nothing this significant since the after the Civil War. And you coming right back to me, asking me for some shit? No, y'all got to get out of my face. That's basically what Johnson was on. And so Dr. King and his folk were like, oh, really? Watch this. That's when they took their ass out there to Selma.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And so after that shit, Johnson didn't want to, but after they put it in his face like that, he ain't had no choice. He had to do something, because he had to save his own face then. Because we were in the midst of the Cold War. We in the midst of this ideological battle against the Soviet Union, and we trying to say we're the freest country on earth and everything like that. And the Soviet Union can look and say, well, why your blacks getting beat in the street like that? So it worked. So that's the same thing I'm saying here. Like, these folk gonna play in our face and just think we just supposed to, oh, here, we gonna give you this, and goddamn it, you gonna take it. If we take it, they just gonna go on by their business. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
But we have those examples, like Dr. King, like Brother Malcolm, all these brothers and sisters. Yes. We have these examples, but You have to get organized, kind of like what y'all have done
Yes,
with the collective and everything like that. Y'all got organized. You know,
yes,
like, I marvel at what y'all are doing from an organizational standpoint. You feel me? So that's the same thing that would have to happen in this arena, in my opinion.
and you know what? First, I mean, you definitely make a great point. You know, on everything you just said, and I agree with you. Um, on you know coming together in definitely the reference that you made, Dr. King. But you know, the governor did come out and make a statement
Mm.
about, just kind of, paraphrasing about IHL getting it wrong. Uh, you know, but as you
He,
stated, I
he,
mean, the
he,
IHL.
he's taking advantage though of people's ignorance, like the average Mississippian.
Mm-hmm.
Average Mississippian doesn't know that his ass plays a role and who the hell IHL is.
Right, he appoints them. Yes.
Yeah, like he's taking advantage of that. Like Trump plays that playbook. He uses that playbook. You know, he'll blame Biden for something. Like the cost of things is going up right now. And he'll say, well, this is Biden's economy. Well, goddamn it, when he handed you the keys, they said the economy was the best in the world. What you talking about? These your tariffs, bro. But the
Right.
average person don't even know the damn definition of a tariff. So he can use these people's ignorance to get over on them. So that's what Reeves' ass doing. He know the average Mississippian don't know that his ass and the other governors are the ones that appointed IHL.
Right. So the point I was making on that, and you helped me with this. Now, when you talking about made the references of Dr. King and putting it in your face with Selma March and all that. Now it's in your face. I mean, now you know what it is. Now the statement you made the statement about getting it right, or being wrong, or what's going on. Now the question, now the ball is in your court. What are you gonna do about it? The ball's in your court. I mean,
I think he has to be shamed. Right now, we just were the ones shamed because the media, the not us, of course. I'm talking about the WAPT, the WJTV, Clarion Ledger, white media. Okay, they framed it as what's wrong with Jackson State.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we even had our brothers and sisters in the HBCU community laughing and joking and coming at us, not understanding this whole thing is a part of the white supremacist structure. And this ain't no goddamn hotep shit. That's just real. That this is a function of that when you got a conservative white man appointing this board to pick presidents. Yeah, that might work for Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Southern Miss, actually, because he views them as his constituents. The big time donors to those schools, the big time alumni to those schools, be in these luncheons and shit with the governor. You know, they be at the governor mansion they probably got the governor's cell phone number. You, TD, are one of the most prominent Jacksonians right now, dog. Like, I really want you to understand what you do for us. Okay? You are one of the faces of that shit. Governor Tay Reeves ain't gonna take your call, though. You see what I'm saying? So something's wrong about this damn process. Something's wrong with that.
So let me ask you this, but because that's the point I was making, being that someone acknowledged it. What actions do you feel a process you feel that probably will take place now, being that it's been wrong so many times? Now we're in this situation, but again, Jacksonians, alumni, DI love, we're still being resilient and still being supporting the best we can. How you think the process will go now with just trying to get it right, being that it's somewhat in the open?
Well, since with me being a history teacher by trade,
Yes, sir.
being somebody who used to teach Mississippi studies and end up really specializing in U.S. history. Mississippi rarely changes without outside pressure. Like inside pressure,
Yeah.
the structure don't be giving a damn about that. Like they be like, this is their shit, you know. Like with the Brett Favre thing, which I did a segment on. Y'all make sure y'all watch that segment. Okay, it's coming. They got the Netflix doc now. You know, folks wasn't really ashamed too much until outside of Mississippi started saying shit about the welfare scandal. Then Mississippi felt some type of way. So, like, even with this type of stuff, that ain't made no. I haven't seen the national news figures that I watch. I ain't seen them say nothing about this. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So until we get that's what it would take. And hell, we can gin that up. You know what I'm talking about? We can gin that up. Hell, I got motherfuckers around the country that watch me. You know, in separate reels. No, I don't talk politics in my short form content. Shout out to all y'all that, you know, watch my short form content and stuff like that. That's where I get most of my views, but in my business, you know what I'm talking about. But if y'all tell me, if everybody say, hey, first, you know, I know we got some lawyers in Tiger Nation. I know we got some politicians in Tiger Nation.
Yes, sir.
You know, if they watch this and they say, hey, y'all young brothers, right? We got a plan, but y'all got to use the microphones y'all got to push it forward, because we need a national spotlight to put some shine on them. You better you better bet on it that I will use them reels and stuff like that then for that. Now, it's probably gonna be a lot of racists in my comment section and everything like that. But hey, that's cool. Fuck that. Okay, I'm willing to do that for this cause and everything. Try to and tag whoever we need to tag and get this thing jumping. You know, if that's the way we should go, or maybe we should back channel it. I don't know. I want to just, you know, talk about it out in the open. So maybe, like I said, some of the lawyers in Tiger Nation, some of the politicians in Tiger Nation can let us know how we can help. Okay, how can we help the process? Because I don't like take no shit. Just I'm fighting against Trump ass every day. I call for his impeachment once a week at least. So, and I know the Republicans control Congress right now. I know it. I know it. God damn it, I know it. But I'd rather call for that than something else. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
We'll leave it right there. Hey, hey, and what you said, man, we definitely have some intelligent lawyers and and stuff. You know,
we got brother Trent Walker, that king.
Man, that's
bring down the Goon Squad. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
our brother.
Yeah, that's
I mean, in the episode that we did, you know, brother Trent, brother C. Lee, you know, came up. I learned something in the episode. You know, I didn't realize that particular name stemmed from an individual, the Goon Squad thing. But first, I think that there are some people who's very prominent, who eyes are on the situation, like you said, brother Trent, and you know, and some of the political figures and politicians that along with Jackson State who definitely don't like the way things are going, and pretty sure some things are in the works, you know. And at the end of the day, first, we just want to have our just do and strive to be the best university that we can be, you know, not only in the HBCU land, but just college period. You know, we have a lot of things going for us, and we want those things to continue. We want those things to get even better, and there's so much more work to do. And with the right leadership, man, we can we definitely can rise to the top and continue to be in the high echelons of universities, definitely in the HBCU landscape. So we're praying that the right decisions are made, the right people are put in place, that they would listen to the voices of the leaders of the university, the people that in the spotlight to represent the alumni, uh, and that we get it right this time. They get it right this time.
That's real. That's real. Well, let's lighten it back up for them then, man. We can hit some real shit. We gotta hit some real shit. I told y'all this is the realest.
Yeah, you're the realest, baby. I mean, yeah.
But let's it's also the most entertaining. So let's get into that. All right, because I can't let you get out of here without making you put it on something. Okay.
Oh man.
Now these are short. All right, but they're fun. All right, I do put you on the spot. Okay. That's what we do here. All right. All right. So first one, start bench cut. Okay. This is another JSU quarterback edition. Okay. Start bench cut.
Okay.
KC-1400, Shedeur Sanders, JaCobian Morgan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Got some stuff to think about. A lot of statistical greatness in there, but we got some hardware in here. So you got some things to think about.
Okay. Man, you know what? I was just about to say, because that was that last Celebration Bowl that Shedeur was in, that wheel that he had to in that last quarter, man, was short of amazing. I mean, I was hanging on the edge of my seat, with that. Those two drives, the touchdown to Travis, and unfortunately the missed touchdown to the tight end. Oh, so I was just about to say, with that performance, man, I'm and JaCobian winning it. Oh, God. Just on the strength of JaCobian winning the national championship, HBCU national championship, I'm gonna have to, golly, first. Yeah, man.
I
got him. Now we talking about a guy that's in the pros. but just on the strength of a JaCobian, still growing, and him winning, and Shedeur wasn't able to. I'm gonna have to cut Shedeur, bench JaCobian, KC-1400. That dude was a GOAT to me.
Wow! Bro, you caught me off guard because you were talking about JaCobian and Shedeur. I'm thinking that's where man, you threw me for a loop. I'm just knowing he was finna cut Casey. He came with the curveball. Okay. I see you.
Look,
I
man.
love Casey too. Casey throwing that thing around, bro. Casey.
Man, look. I mean, again, you can say this about any sport, about any athlete, about any coaches, but right. you take Casey and put him in a situation that Shedeur and JaCobian in. I mean, the scoreboard will get broken. You give him the weapons. You know what I'm saying? We had a pretty good running game when Casey was here, but he had two main receivers. I mean, he had he had three main receivers. I can't remember the other wide receiver name, but definitely remember Rico Richardson was his top receiver, and had a very good tight end. But let me tell you what it did for me, for Casey, and I can see some of this in Shedeur, and this is where I feel JaCobian would need to grow.
Okay.
What did it for me, for KC-1400, affectionately known as the White Tiger?
That's right.
The command of the offense. he took control of the offense. He took control. When he was on the field, you knew he was the general. And to be honest, I heard this play that I remember the story of Jerry Rice going to the 49ers. And I think he at one point in time he was dropping a lot of balls. And it was a play where Joe Montana, they needed to win the game, and Joe Montana called the play, and he say he grabbed Jerry Rice by the face, man. Say he told him, I'm coming to you, and say, grab my face, man, look, and don't drop my ball. That's the kind of leadership I saw in KC-1400. And it stood out to me definitely in the Tennessee State game. Player came on the field, thing went right, and he literally like get off the field and call coach to bring somebody else on the field. And I seen him do that several times, even under pressure situation, so it's not only the ball player, but the leadership, what I'm saying? Being a man, taking control of a situation, especially in hectic situation. And that's what you want in your general. That's what you want in your leader as a quarterback on the field. I mean, if you look at, winning the Super Bowl, of course, you have some fly under the radar, but most, not only the Super Bowl, but national championship, you have strong leader as a quarterback and somebody who commands. So, because everyone's looking up to you, because after the center, the ball touches your hand, you don't want making the decision. Mm-hmm. You don't want looking at and reading the defense. You see the linebacker about to blitz, so you see the safety playing off, or you see the safety playing up, or maybe even see or possibly where the defense is going to crash or whatever the defense is in, and you able to read that and put your player in the right decision. I mean, in the right position to make either the first down, the touchdown, or the game-winning score, or put you in the field goal range. Man, that is a leader, and that's what you want in your quarterback, and that's what I saw in KC-1400. And look at the numbers that he did, and he was getting commercials and stuff, and he was there for 2 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say KC-1400, and I will always be a fan, and I'm a fan of Kens and everybody else. Jimmy Oliver, all those great quarterbacks, good quarterbacks. I say good quarterbacks that came through at the time. Don't get me wrong, and man, much love to Shador. I'm not saying, and he has become a leader. But just like I said, just on the stint of JaCobian still being here and winning the national championship, that's the route I would have to go in that order for the question that you asked. And you know what? I'm gonna plug this and say this. I definitely would love to see some of that fire in JaCobian this year.
All right, I'm coming there. Before I get to my next put it on some item, you've got my wheel turning. All right, so I got another question I want to ask you. With a black national title, let me back up. With a SWAC championship under his belt, with a black national title under his belt, with a Celebration Bowl offensive MVP under his belt, this year, what would JaCobian need to do from an individual standpoint and as the leader of the team standpoint for him to put himself in that Jackson State QB GOAT talk for you?
Take charge.
Take charge. Okay.
He would need to become that leader that trustworthy.
Okay.
You have to be trustworthy. Not only for first you got to be trustworthy. You got to trust himself. Mm-hmm. Then the coach has to, if he trusts himself, then the coach has to trust him because they see what he's doing, confidence within himself, and then the players have to trust him.
Would he have to get a player of the year on his resume? Do we have to repeat for him to be in that talk, or was it,
to be in the talk with some of the greats?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you got to look at it like this now. He should,
Or does this already put him there, with this one black national title? Like, if we're in the barbershop 15 years from now, has he done enough to be brought up with all the legends, or does he still need to do more this year?
I think there would be rumblings. Other conversations, again, just hinging on the fact that he has done something that no other quarterback has done before, and was able to do, and that bring a HBCU national championship to the city of Jackson and to 1400 JR Lit Street. So, but when you get looking at the numbers and all those things, he would have to do more. He would need to, he would need to do more for stats. He would have to make himself iconic. Like, we last year we was very run dominant. We had Mr. Mulligan running the ball.
Shout out to Mr. Mulligan.
Mr. Mulligan.
Give him a damn job.
I mean, not only him, man. We had a really good running back field. And I like to give credit. Amari Matthews came through real clutch, in times. Travis Terrell. So, Desmond Mulcher. I mean, we had a really good running back room, so that made it a lot. That made it easier on JaCobian. And plus, we had a really good wide receiver core until, of course, we started getting played with injury. So, yes, I think that his name would be mentioned, but there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? There's level to it. Now, he can do some things this year, and he has the ability to do some things this year because the weapons that he had pretty much should be almost illegal, a ban from the SWAC. The weapons that, it's in the arsenal that's in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Not only in the trunk, man, this is in the engine and everywhere else around him. So... So the arsenal that he has, man, he has potential to do a bunch of numbers. But he is where it goes. First, and you being a former coach, we all know that it hinges on that individual and what drives them, what's their goal, and what their ambition and what they really want to do and what they're striving for. Off-season work, getting to know your receivers better. Being able to look at a particular receiver and change the play, on the dime, just things like that would, set them apart. And definitely put up some numbers. So, again, I think there will be whispers, maybe not very loud amongst what we would call, some of the great, because, you got some people that can go all the way back, to Pratt, to Shannon Board, and just a whole bunch of quarterbacks in the past that has been at the helm. Jackson State quarterback Robert Kent. So yeah, his name will be there. How loud is going to be determined by him.
All right, young king from Canton. You heard that from another king from Canton. All right, we're looking forward to see what you do this year now. All right,
yes,
you got a chance to put yourself up there with the icons. Okay, let's see what you do. All right, got another one for you. Got another one. Okay, this one we're calling it either or. Okay, with you being both a Cantonian and a Jacksonian, I think you are perfect to answer this question. All right, a Holler burger or a Stamps burger?
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna piss off the Cantonians or the Jacksonians with this one. But that's how it is. That's what I do here. I had to put you on the spot.
Man, those.
Shout out to Hickory Street Sandwich Shop, by the way. That when I say Holler Burger, that's what I'm talking about. Hickory Street Sandwich Shop in Canton, Mississippi.
Right. Man, we used to Hickory Street, right? But man, we used to call it the Holler.
The Holler, yeah. The Holler. Okay, that's what we talking about. And y'all know Stamps, okay. Y'all Jacksonian, y'all, of course, y'all know Stamps.
Yeah, we definitely know Stamps. Ooh, it's man, it's been a while. It's been a while since I had a Holler burger. Okay. And to be honest with you, I don't do a whole bunch of Stamps burger. but they are extremely delicious. And that's one of the reasons why I try to watch my figure first.
Hey, I know. I was hesitant to ask you that because y'all know the brother been stressing wellness to us. You know what I'm talking about? He's taking us on this journey with him. You know what I'm talking about? So I was hesitant to ask him this, but I'm like, he's a Jacksonian and a Cantonian. I can't ask this to nobody else. You know what I'm talking about, on my show? You know what I'm saying? So I had to get that
out. So to answer your question, where it stands, being hinging on it's been a minute, man. I'm gonna have to go with stamps right now.
All right. Cantown, don't come for them. Okay.
Please don't.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you see me buy me a burger. take me and remind me what it used to be.
There you go. There you go. All right, last one. I'm calling this one pay, stay, or walk away. Pay, stay, or walk away. Okay.
Pay, stay, or walk away.
Pay, stay, or walk away. All right. Now, when it comes to pay, that would be a restaurant where the food is so good that goddamn you'll pay for it yourself. Okay, it's that good. All right. The next one is a restaurant where, you know what, it's good, but it ain't all that. You know, if somebody else buy it for me, I'll stay and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'll stay and kick it with child and eat it, but I ain't paying for it myself. The last one is, man, I'm gone. I'm good. I'm walking away from this. I don't want none of that. All right. So, those of y'all who frequent KC-1400 Media, shout out to Ken Clark, by the way. All right.
What's up, Ken?
Y'all have heard TD, or y'all always saying something to TD about that golden fish. Okay? All right. Y'all always talking about that. So, TD.
Yes, sir.
Pay, stay, or walk away. Penn's Fish House, Boston's, and Captain D's.
Oh, man, that's easy.
Pay, stay, walk away. All right, which one you paying?
Oh, I'm paying for I'm paying for Penn's.
Okay. Shout out. I love Penn Fish House in Canton, Mississippi. Shout out to them. I know
yes,
they
got. I'm paying for Penn's. Yes, sir.
Okay. Shout out.
I need to open it back up on 43 out there.
They didn't close that one?
Yeah, man, they been closed the one on 43. You know, they just had the one downtown. Yeah. Well, matter of fact, most of those restaurants are closed. I think I know the one that still kind of is inside that junction in Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the one there, and I still think it's the one downtown out Peachtree, right. You know,
I thought about getting some yesterday. Matter of fact, okay.
Yeah. You know what? My bad. They do have one on Lake Harbor, but here's the thing, though. First, one of the things you gonna, when I say pay, you gonna pay, man. When I went there years ago, and I was like, oh, they win their food now.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they switched up the game. You noticed that too, didn't it? Yeah, they switched up the game.
Why you just can't go ahead and give me the 8 pieces that I need? Why you gotta put 5 pieces on there and weigh in and then take some off, and then you still gonna charge me? Oh no, a finger. I'm like, okay, but to answer your question, I'm paying for Penn's.
Okay. Stay or walk away. We still got Boston's and Captain D's left.
You said Captain D's. Oh man.
Long live my mama. My mama used to love some Captain D.
Right. So did my mom. But so you know what? You just answered my question for me. Thank you, because my mom really, she had to have that tartar sauce.
Shit, yeah, Lord, yeah. And see, if my mama sent me, okay, if she sent me now driving from Canton ain't got one of these.
Right.
Drive from Canton to Jackson. To I don't eat tartar sauce. I don't eat ketchup. None of that. So I forget to ask for these things. You know what I'm saying? So if I make it back home without that, I'm getting some words, Jack. I'm getting some words. You know what I'm saying? And I can't just hop on the highway and drive back out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, buddy. Yeah, she needed that tartar sauce, Jack.
So with that being said, with on the strength of my mama and your mama, I'm gonna have to stay with Captain D's. I'm gonna walk away from Boston.
Now, shout out to Boston. I tried to go get some Bostons on Malcolm X's birthday, his 100th birthday. Okay, so on both Juneteenth and on Malcolm X Day, we try to support some black business in around here. Generally, the black business that you can support is some kind of restaurant. So we drove down there to Boston's, man, and they were closed. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm assuming because it was a Monday. My wife was telling me a lot of small businesses, they take Sunday and Monday as their weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I went down there trying to support them on Malcolm X Day and couldn't get in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Was it the one on Lynch Street?
No, this one, the one on North Side. On North Side. Yep, sure was. They had that thing locked up like Fort Knox, boy. That thing was chained up and everything.
And I'll say too, I hadn't had. I think I did taste the fish from Boston one time. I hadn't ordered it, and be honest with you, personally, I hadn't just gone to Boston myself. Normally, my family goes, and they'll bring me something back. Especially my daughter. She crazy about their wings. She live by them. They are pretty good. But just me going in there ordering fish, I hadn't, and like I said, I tasted before, so that's why I'm gonna have to kind of walk away on that fish deal with Boston and rock with Captain D's. But I'm definitely paying for pins.
Well, Boston, you can definitely change some minds here. You know what I'm talking about? You can advertise here with your homeboy first too, if you would like. I got some space here where your logo can fit. You know what I'm talking about? And I would eat some Bostons right here on air, baby. We can talk about that off camera. All right, but TD on some real shit.
Yes, sir.
On some real shit, y'all. I gotta let y'all know realest ones, real ones around the country. Tiger Nation. This man is who he says he is. This man does a lot of stuff y'all don't know nothing about. Okay, I'm speaking for myself now. I'm talking about for my own life. I looked up, this man was at my mama's funeral. He didn't have to do that. I know some people that say they love me that didn't show up there. I know he's been the same person to me before the funeral, at the funeral, since the funeral. I got some folks, and I got some folks I can't say that about. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. This brother has called me or texted me to check on me in moments of my despair. Hell, he's texted me or called me to check on my children. Do you understand me? To check on my children. He sent money to me for my children for their academic excellence. You understand? This brother is who he says he is. And I want to publicly say that, brother, because I know you one of those brothers who you giving from the heart. You ain't trying to publicize. You ain't trying to do all that. You know what I'm talking about? And I commend you. You feel me, for being who you are. I am one of these brothers who I want to publicize the good deeds of good people.
Yes, sir.
In hopes that other people might say, let me try that. Let me be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when people see us or see someone with a car they like, they try to go get that car. When they see somebody with a chain they like, they try to go get the same damn chain. They try to go get the same damn watch. Well, if you see somebody doing good, you can emulate that too, baby. You can emulate that too.
True.
And you, this brother right here is a good man. He's a good man. So I want to say that, and thank you for coming on here, brother, and putting it on something. Anything you want to share, make sure we run up TD followers. You know what I'm talking about, on social. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling you, these social media followers now helps us, and as we continue to grow our stature, the bigger we get, If we big and people are paying attention to us, we gonna shine light on the university. You feel me? I got a video right now that I made a meme of our baseball coach saying, "This belong to me." I took that and made something funny about it, okay? And now, I think that shit got like 45,000 views right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people laughing about the meme, but they damn so see that J. You feel me? So the bigger we get, y'all, in this game, it's just gonna help the university. You know what I'm talking about? So TD, let them know where they can follow you at, and anything else you want to share with the real one.
Yeah, I would definitely like to speak on the last thing that you said, man. First of all, thank you for the flowers, sir. And everything you said is definitely true. Um, I'm genuine like that, and I believe in like that until I feel that you're trying to take advantage of the situation. And one thing about it, I have strong discernment about that. You know what I'm saying? I pray about a lot of things, about a lot of situation, man. And I mean, well, by people. I mean, we go back and forth, with Southern and FAMU, Valley, Alcorn, and stuff like that, man. At the end of the day, there's no ill will because we all in that pot together. They all look at us the same,
Yeah.
and we all trying to support each other. But when we on those athletic fields and courts and stuff competitive, hey, it's the I love, no, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. But the things that you just said, um, you make it easy for me. I sat back when you first was talking about the autism with Mr. Bear, and I was like, wow. I like that's a brave brother because I'm kind of reserved about it. Certain things. I guess you can say I'm guilty of sometimes trying to handle things myself. Kind of growing up the only child, independent. It wasn't, like I said, the road hadn't been easy, but it hadn't been the roughest it could have been either. So I'm not saying that by far at all. I mean, I didn't. But to see the way that you take care of your family, the way that you support your family, um, the intelligence that you possess, I enjoy listening to you, especially when you talk about your era of teaching and coaching, and you can hear the passion in your voice about educating young people, not just in particular, just young people. Period. So I gain mad respect from watching what you do. Um, I tell you what, attending your mother's funeral was actually a blessing to me. First, I learned so much. I had no idea. Not only was she's a pillar of the community, she was several pillar of the community. You know, uh, the smartness, the study habits that she instilled in you, in her students, to hear her students speak highly of her, and Miss Wells made sure that I got my work. Miss Wells is the reason why I am an entrepreneur. Miss Wells is the reason why I got high honors. And then I talked to some of my family members who attend Holy Child Jesus Catholic School, and they spoke well of Miss Wells. And I'm sitting here like, so I took a lot from that and added to what I do or what I'm trying to do. Because first, at some point, we have to realize, man, everything that we do, everything that we get, that we achieve is not always about us. And the minute that in the minute that we understand that, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm nobody saying be a fool, ain't nobody play you, because I'm way beyond that too. You're not gonna do that. Trust me. Anything that I do, brother, I do it from the heart. It's not that anything that nobody said, any game that nobody ran, or anything like that, because I wanted to. But when I feel and see that it's unappreciated, then I'm glad you got what you got. Push on. You know what I'm saying? So again, flowers to you, the way that you handle your business, the way you support your family. I see Miss Happy. I owe her a couple bucks. Man, between Miss Happy and my daughter, they're gonna break me, man. And shout out to my, shout out to my daughter. Hey, man, my daughter, we got her in AAU basketball, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. She don't know what she's doing at all, but but it was her first year playing. We got out there for exercise purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on this AAU team, man, and she actually has a really great coach. You know how I told you I sit back and watch how people do things? I watch Coach Jordan. She's assistant coach at a local high school here, man. I watched the way she handled those young ladies. And first, when my daughter joined, she actually got on the team by being the water girl at my wife's school. And then she was like, well, I'm starting an AAU team. And so we put on the AAU team, to get her active. I started later to build a program from having 3 to 4 players, 5 players to actually today winning the AAU championship, man. And I'm like, wow, they played a team first. I think it's a team from Vicksburg, man. They had a young lady on the team, man, looked like Rebecca Lobo's second cousin. I mean, hey, man, the first time they played them, they beat them by 40. they came back in, they knocked it down, they beat them by 10. Okay. But the last 3 times, Coach Jordan, Coach Showway, and she beat those girls. Matter of fact, that's the team she beat today for the AAU, the 5th graders, little championship, man. So shout out to them, and so I'm proud of that. And so I know you share a lot of that with about your kid, and I think Happy is playing basketball now. So at some point in time, and my daughter also plays softball. They came in. Hey, she got another. Matter of fact, she getting a ring for this. She getting a ring last week. They came in 2nd place.
Okay.
She getting a ring for that. Oh yeah, man. Oh. But she's her fingers starting to look like Mike around here, man.
Hey, shout out to the whole fam, man. Shout out to the whole fam, because I forgot to shout out your wife, your bride, a fellow educator. You know what I'm talking about? God bless her for serving the people. You feel me? So, man, just a great family.
Yeah,
a great family, man.
And last thing I would say, if anybody, at least you have any question, go ahead and you will in your heart's or desire, man. That collective, KC-1400 Media Collective, we definitely working hard to show and prove for our scholar athletes in more ways than one. And we have an event coming up on the 14th, I want to say, in Atlanta, brother. First, in case you know, we have a KC-1400 brand. It's a whiskey, building off commemoration of like Black Wall Street Greenwood brand. And look, man, I'm not a drinker, and I think you kind of backed away some, but hey, man.
Stop, man. Yeah, y'all would bring some drink out when I didn't stop drinking.
Hey, we getting collective items now. Hey,
that's true. Okay, that's true.
Collective items now. But yeah, man, shout out to the whole team, Ken Clark, KT Dove, man, we try to do the best we can to support, man, and we appreciate the support that you give. And we acknowledge you, man. So,
again, I'm telling you, that shit makes me feel like a team owner. The fact that I can put something in the pot, and like I said, as my businesses grow, I want to move up my membership. You know what I'm talking about? I want to be in the highest membership in that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Because it gives us an opportunity to participate. But without y'all organizing it, okay, you can have a vision for something, but if you don't have an organization with it, you really can't do that. So, man, I just commend y'all brothers for
first. My apology, bro. I know those normally happen, but I got to do you like this. Okay. I got to put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
I got to put you on the hot seat.
He flipping the script. I'll put it on something. All right.
Ooh, Ooh.
Okay.
So, come August, early September, I Love will be taking a trip down south, headed down 49.
Okay.
Yeah, and we headed to this place called Hattiesburg.
I already know what's coming.
Yeah.
You gonna miss. I got a
That,
segment coming on that. You gonna
okay,
miss
so
on
I'll
that.
leave it alone. I'll leave it
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
But you already
dog.
know.
That's gonna be
You gotta
some
put
good,
it
that's
on
gonna be
something.
some good work for me there. You okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. I know that's coming. I'm brainstorming that one already, baby. You know, I already know what I'm gonna say, but they gotta wait on that. Okay,
Okay, we gotta wait on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He trying to ask me, y'all.
No.
As a
No, we
Jackson
good.
State man
Don't
and a
mess it
Southern
up.
Miss man, who I'm gonna go for, who I'm gonna pull for.
What side you sitting on?
hey,
What color you wearing, brother?
y'all gonna have to wait till the fall. Y'all know I do a preview of every game. You had to wait till that segment to find out.
Appreciate you, brother.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, man. Real talk.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.